Alright, listen up, all you tech-savvy millennials and TikTok legends, because we're about to bow down to the ultimate maestro of wordplay, William Shakespeare. Shenanigans. He was straight-up conjuring words, like a wizard casting spells. Step aside, Beyonce. Shakespeare was the OG wordsmith with a diamond-encrusted quill. Can you even wrap your head around it? We casually toss around words, like eyeball every damn day, probably while scrolling through thirst traps or admiring Patrick Mams pulling off another job, dropping past completely oblivious to the fact that Shakespeare just plucked that term out of thin air. Before him, what did people even call their peepers? Comma their dot-face orbs? Their vision spheres? Sounds ridiculously awkward, right? Shakespeare was like, fam, let's go. With eyeball, it's got that zing to it. And just like that, a word was born. Bravo, Bill. And swagger. Can you even imagine a world without swagger? How would we describe Harry Styles' killer red carpet outfits? What would NBA commentators say when LeBron James struts onto the court with that unshakable confidence? They'd be stumbling over words about his certain comma flair. A confident walk? Nah, Shakespeare just casually introduced swagger into the English language, probably while sipping ale at the Globe, and suddenly we had the perfect term to capture that cool, confident strut. It's the verbal equivalent of dropping the mic. Then there's lonely. Can you even fathom the roller coaster of emotions in a TikTok dance trend gone wrong? Without the word lonely, picture someone attempting the renegade and totally messing it up, standing there in cringeworthy silence before Shakespeare. They'd just be comma solitary, unaccompanied. It just doesn't hit the same, does it? Shakespeare, in his infinite wisdom and probably after a few too many melancholic lute tunes, gifted us with perfectly encapsulating that wistful "where are my likes?" It's like Shakespeare was a linguistic genius, constantly remixing and dropping new hits into the English language. He wasn't just writing plays, he was shaping the very words we use to argue about whether pineapple belongs on pizza or stand the latest K-pop sensation. So the next time you're tossing around one of these everyday terms, take a moment to virtually fist bump the bard. He wasn't just some old playwright. He was a linguistic trailblazer, a word magician, the original influencer of the English language. He basically armed us with the verbal artillery to describe everything from a flawlessly executed TikTok transition to the heartbreak of your favorite character getting the boot on The Bachelor. Not too shabby for a guy rocking tights. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm feeling a tad lonely and might just swagger over to the fridge for an eyeball of something scrumptious. Shakespeare would totally vibe with that heartbreak and supernatural.